Greetings, everybody. I wanted to do a kind of inaugural Summoners War video. I felt like the easiest thing to go over was just kind of tips and tricks for new players. I had recently started a new alt account just to kind of, it's been a while, so I'm just remembering what it's like being a new player, and that I was, there's probably a bunch of these videos out. I just wanted to put this video out before I started going into more specific things. I'll be farming giants while I talk. Hope you don't mind getting them sweet runes. So the first thing is, obviously, if you're watching this video, you're probably far enough, but I'll kind of go over the basics. So you start out, you get some free monsters. Nowadays they have a bunch of missions that give you a bunch of the free monsters that everybody will tell you to get. I think Shannon, Bernard, Bella. No, not Bella. Shannon, Bernard, Colleen. Probably a few other ones. So the first thing you want to do is get runes on the basic monsters. You can just get Swift runes, put them on pretty much everything. Shannon can use Swift or Energy or Despair. It really doesn't matter. And you want to start working on getting to Karros. That's your plan, is to get to the point where you could do Giants 10, because that'll get you the runes that you can pretty much do everything in the game for. So I'll kind of break it down in a few different things. The first thing is Arena. I talk about that first just because of how important I think it is. You want to get your glory buildings as high as you possibly can, as fast as you possibly can. So use all your wings at all times. You also want to set a really bad defense. I think mine is, let's take a look. I think mine's Orion, like just Orion. Yeah, and it's been like that. I mean, I'm a not higher level player, but I'm pretty far along, and I still don't set a real defense at all, just because I haven't run out of crystals and I haven't put money on in a while. But just put whatever as defense so you lose more, and then find people to revenge. I like to get in some solid revenge battles and just keep getting glory points. I would start with the energy building. Get your Sanctum of Energy to max, and depending on how much you play, I think doing the Sky Tribe Totem next is probably fine. To maybe like 9, and then try to get everything to 5. I did crit damage, was the first one I actually maxed, because I think it's pretty cheap, and it works for everybody. Well, not your healers, but it works for any damage dealer, hit point damage dealer, defense damage dealer, and your actual just attack style damage dealers. I'm out of energy. And then obviously always buy your Devilmon. Even when you start, try to get enough glory points to get that Devilmon every week. In regards to scenario, you're pretty much just going to use scenario for the runes to start, so getting 4 or 5-star runes on all your monsters, and then don't farm it for experience unless you're under a boost. If you're not under a boost, don't farm it for experience. I guess I've kind of, for the this event where we had to get a 3-star max monster, I did a few runs just to do it, because I didn't feel like I didn't have any Angelmon laying around. So, but other than that, pretty much only just farm it if you're under a boost. So in regards to Karros, and your first thing you're going to work on is your GB10 team, your Giants B10 team. This is obviously a higher end GB10 team. It succeeds pretty much, I think, 95 plus, maybe 98, and about 45 to a minute 15, depending who survives. But your first team, once again, you could hear this everywhere, but it's Veramos, Belladon, Bernard, Shannon. So it's Dark Ifrit, Light, Roke, Wind Griffin, and the Wind Pixie, and then a 5th person. Sorry, Light Inagami, Light Roke. I did that on purpose. And then the 5th person can pretty much be any kind of support monster. I opened, I'll keep it and roll it. I opened Ritesh, so he was my 5th monster. Ritesh helped me progress. I think I opened him at level like 15. He helped me progress. We'll talk a little bit about that later. But it could be something like I tried Rakaja, the Windy Yeti. It could be Darien, Light Vagabond. It could be something like a Casus. And these monsters don't need to be 6-star. They could be 5-star. They'll get the job done 5-star. Casus is a really good one because it gives you dots, plus it gives you the shields and a little heal. There are a lot of monsters you can put in that 5th slot. Just something, preferably wind, and that'll help support you. Ravidi would be another one, a second cleanser plus a shield plus a slow, another slow. So that's what you're working towards. You can pretty much just farm GB8. That's what I was doing on the alt. You can farm GB8 to get most of the runes you need. So I would work towards that. Get to GB8 with that team you're going to use for GB10. Then just gem through 9 because 9's fire and not good for our win team. Just get a Chow rep and gem through it. And then go straight to GB10. The difference between GB8 and GB10, if your team is mostly wind, is pretty negligible because you're going to be taking less damage. You're going to be doing more damage. The next big thing I want to go over is make sure you participate in every event to the fullest. We get these events, they give free stuff. If you're free to play, this is very important because you want to get all the things that it has to offer. This one was a Devilmon event. That's a very limited mon. I would make sure to participate in all the events, get everything. So another thing to do is join a guild. I would look for a farming guild that will pretty much take anybody. There are a lot of farming guilds out there. It's absolutely worth your energy to do. I mean, it's 60 energy today, 60 energy a day if you're battling twice a day. The Rainbow Mon is 150 a week. It's very worthwhile. It can help you to start 6-starring monsters faster. I did notice that I had a bunch of 4-star Rainbow Mon and not a bunch of 6-stars. I just didn't really have the time on a second account to do. That's a flat room. To do a bunch of 6-stars, but I had the 4-star fodder easily to do it, so that's one thing. And then you start working towards your free nat 5s. They have freets. They're all pretty useful. Tesserion's good against certain monsters, really good in TOA hard, can be used in raid due to the leader, and everybody knows about Theomars. Theomars is Theomars, and Amir is very good. He is on my GB10 team, obviously he's right there. Nope, I went the wrong way, that way. He does a lot of damage, built for speed, he's decent in PvP, but I mean I mostly use him here. I was using him in TOA hard to help because you put a bunch of dots in the defense break and then he just, with his third ability, he does a lot of damage. So yeah, join a guild, use your sword so you don't get sat. And then everybody says first 6-star should be like Bella or Vero. I mean, I'm gonna be honest, just prioritize the monsters you're gonna use or you are using. If you end up opening something, then use that monster. Something that'll help you progress faster. It's more about that. Yeah, doing Vero as your first 6-star is fine, but if you don't have something that can farm decently, it's gonna take you forever. I'm not saying don't 6-star Lapis, but there are plenty of monsters that you can 6-star first. Something like Lucian, or I don't know. I'm trying to think what you can get. I mean, most Nat 5s are useful in some fashion to help you progress, because having a faster farmer will help you get to Vero quicker. And like I said, prioritize the mons you're using. So if you did your farmer, then do Vero, then do Bella. You don't need to 6-star Shannon because she's going to do what she needs to do. Add 5-star. Same thing with Bernard. You will eventually 6-star Bernard, but not relevant in the beginning. Secret dungeons. Make sure you're keeping an eye out for secret dungeons. The best way I do it is just join a public channel, wait till somebody opens the secret dungeon I need, and then say, one time, say, hey, can you add me? Then add them or try to add them. If they don't add you, you move on. Keep looking. While you're farming, if you're looking for Bella, the light Inagami, you should be farming the light dungeon. You're going to need to awaken it, as well as you want to be part of the solution, not continue to be part of the problem of spamming every channel looking for Bella Dion. Also, another thing is doing a little bit of research before you feed anything. Most 4-star mons need skill ups and will be useful in skill ups. There's a few that you might never build, like Puree, or if you don't open one of the LDs. I'm trying to think. There's probably a few other that I'm not thinking of, but you want to keep the 4 stars just in case you need to miss skill ups, just in case they get buffed. Same thing with any LD monster that's not farmable. I have my storage is full of LDs that Nat 3s that I'm hoping get buffed. What's her name? Lynn just got buffed, so now I could build her, and I still have her instead of feeding her. So definitely keep pretty much every Nat 4 and then all the LDs. I like the new. I'm getting off track, but I like the new Amazon Lynn, the light Amazon. She is pretty good so far. I need to fully build her, but I've watched videos on her and I like her. So yeah, this is what my storage looks like in the light dark department. Just a bunch of I just keep one of each and hope that marble. Why? Still haven't opened basalt, but I have marble. Yay. I like to, even as a new player, when I played on the alt account, I was not paying for anything, so I just decided to use all my crystals and refills. And I eventually got scrolls. I opened a bunch of monsters, no Nat 5s, but I mean, I got to the point I autoed GB10. So I think that's when I just decided it was time to just focus back on my main account. But you can do GB10 easily with no Nat 5s. Vero is a fusion, so I don't really quote unquote count him. But for me, all of these things are my opinion. They could be completely wrong, but that's fine. This is my opinion. I just like to use the crystals on refills. But you also have to take into account what kind of player you are. If you're really hardcore and refilling over and over again, then obviously use them on refills. But if you're kind of, you play sometimes, buying premium packs is fine. There's nothing wrong with it. You get some scrolls, maybe you'll open some monsters, but when it comes down to it, the runes and your teams are what's most important. Getting your Giants B10 team up and running and then speeding it up a little so you can get to the point where you can do Dragons B10 and so on down the line. That's really what you want to worry about. So getting runes, that's most important. Monsters, yeah, they could help. Like if you open Vert Hill, that really helps you in doing DB10 more effectively. And then the other thing I like to say, it's kind of seems silly, but introduce it to friends, because if you get a bunch of friends into it, it makes the game more interesting. I think 3 of my friends that play in real life. My wife used to play, and another buddy used to play. But it helps because you stay more interested in any game you're playing. This game is a grind. I mean, I've been playing for, I'm trying to think, a year and a half or so, and it's continually a grind. Every day. I mean, I do play this game every single day, but there are some days where you just keep no runes, or you'll keep 1 rune, roll it, and sell it. So you be prepared for the grind. But I think going into this, most people know that. And then, like I was talking about, knowing the type of player you are, because that really will affect the things you do. If you plan to spend money, absolutely buy the intermediate pack. The intermediate pack is the most bang for your buck. I think there's a beginner pack too. It's been a while. I didn't buy anything on the alt, but definitely buy the intermediate pack. So this is the first video, and hopefully a string of videos. I'm going to do some kind of like Giants video, Dragons video, Necro video, Raid video, etc., and kind of talk about progression. One thing I don't see much is progression videos, because for a while I was using a standard Vero, Bella, Shannon, Bernard, and then Amir as my 5. And my team was actually pretty good, and I think it was like a minute 45 or so. And I wasn't sure when to actually progress towards speeding it up faster. So somebody had said, well, try removing Vero and just putting Lucian in as a leader, just trying to kill him faster. If you get the if you get the attack break on him, and if you get lucky with Shannon, then he won't do much damage because he can glance and he's attack broken. So I tried that for a while, and then one buddy was like, "Well, why don't you just go all in?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure, why not?" So that's one thing I'll talk about in different progressions and teams, looking at your when to progress, the state of your glory buildings. Those are important. So stay tuned. Hopefully this is a first video of many. This is my guide for new players for Summoner's War. Thank you all for watching.